The thermostat works in zones. Zone 1 is the coach. Zone 2 is the bedroom. And right now you'll notice it says 70 degrees, but it's on zone 2. So if I want to raise it or lower it, I just hit the up or down arrow. Fan speed is on high. I want to change the fan speed. I can do auto, low, medium, or high. Now, the manufacturer of these air conditioners, in 80 degrees or better temperature, they want you to use the air conditioner with a manual fan speed instead of auto. What cuts off, compressor will still kick on and cut off at temperature, but the fan keeps turning. And if there's any moisture accumulating on the grids of the air conditioner, it will thaw it out so it doesn't freeze over on you. And they will freeze over. Mode is the different, like cool, auto, furnace, fan, off, back to cool. And if you go to zone 2, you'll see cool, fan, off. That's all that's on there. Zone 1 has your furnace on it. So you would, if you want to heat, you would go to zone 1, and on mode, you would hit till it comes up and says furnace. Okay, I'm not going to stop it on there because it'll start. But anyhow, you just tell it what you want. Cool is air conditioner, of course.
So in order to turn both zones on, what I do?
Well, you just turn them on one at a time. See, zone 1's on, air conditioner. Zone 2, see the little 2? It's on, air conditioner. If you hit zone 3, it gets you an E1. That's because there's nothing on it. In zone 4, it gets you an E1, which is an air code, which there's nothing on it. But if you go back to 1, see, it's got your temperature, and it says cool, which means air conditioner. You can also hold this down. It tells you the temperature inside is 70 degrees. Fahrenheit and Celsius. Of course, we don't use Celsius. It's got a little bitty clock. It's about that big. I wouldn't even fool with setting it. Program. I don't like to use that because whatever you set in it, that's what it's going to start and quit. And if you're moving from place to place, it won't work.
I don't like the program.
Yeah. If you ever do, or somebody, one of your kids do, and you need to get it out of it, this whole program and the power button together, and it'll clear it. It took me a long time to figure that one out. All right. And this thing ain't on. Yeah, I don't have to get Kennedy on that. This is a monitor for all your power. Tells you L1 and L2, how much amperage you're pulling, any faults on it. I'll get Kennedy in here on that. This is a power manager, and you'll see it says 50 amps. That's because we're hooked to 50 amps. All the major components of the trailer right here. If it goes to 30, everything's good, but only one air conditioner. If it goes past 30 and starts down toward 20, it starts taking this stuff off. Now, this does not mean air conditioner. This is a different grid for the different power sources in the trailer. The water heater is right, but these others are not air conditioner. They're just different grids on the trailer. Anyhow, if that happens, it's not the trailer. It's what you're hooked to, so go check your power source and make sure you got 50 amps or whatever coming out of it. You'll run across that in an old campground where they didn't keep up with the codes or whatever, and maybe 3 or 4 people's in there with 2 air conditioners going, and their line can't handle the drain. That's what you'll see. All right, now this thing here is the hot water heater, and it's got to have a switch on right here. It says gas hot water heater, and then this, you just turn it. It's got a clean out feature. It's got the one down here, there's a little notch. The one down here is comfort. The one up here is economy. What economy means is in a standby mode, when it's not being used, it will let the temperature of the water get down to 45 degrees before it starts heating. But you still get the same temperature when you turn it on. because then it goes up to its maximum heat. Same way down here on the comfort setting, it won't let the water get below 100 degrees. So it'll be heating it when you don't need it. So I would run it on this one because, like I say, when you ask for hot water, you get the hot water. It's just in a standby mode, it doesn't heat it over 45 degrees. But when you call for it, when you turn it on, it goes to however hot it is.
So when you turn the shower on and it's at 45 degrees, it'll heat up fast enough for you to take a shower?
Yeah, it just takes a couple minutes, 3 minutes. Because the water comes through that little, remember that little black tube I showed you out there? That's the staging area for it. And it lights, and the water actually comes through don't come through the flame, but it comes through a thing that flame is heating. Everybody's got these things, seems to like them because you never run out of hot water unless you run out of gas. So that's another reason I told you to monitor your gas. All right. Of course, the awnings, we just talked about that. Now, this thing is the inverter. So when we unplug you, we would want to hold this button until that turns green. It will take over the refrigerator. It's not working right now because you've got power on it. And you can just turn it off. This is fuses, car fuses, 20, I think 15 maybe, I don't really know. Let's see what it says. I don't know. Wonder where. Yeah, and see it tells everything that it's controlling. And also it has a little red light down here. If one of these blows, it'll come up and turn red and tell you which one to change. But anywhere, most of them are 20s. You got 1.1 and 1.3, but everything else is 20. If you don't have any of these things, you can go to Walmart and get a whole bag of them, or a box of them. But I'd get them, carry them with me because you're gonna blow them. This is your breaker box. And this very center one with the white button on it, that's your ground fault reset for your plugs. So if you pop a reset on your plugs, come over here and reset it. It's got a fuse and push that in. Everything else, the refrigerator, fireplace, washer, dryer, AC1, AC2, microwave, main, of course, GFI, is what we just talked about. Bedroom, it's everything in here controls something and it's marked. If I come in here and something wasn't working, I would check these breakers first, and then check your fuses, and then go check your power. See what kind of power you got. Because this thing, like I say, it'll tell you what you're on. If you do hook up an onboard generator, when the generator starts, it kicks that off and comes up here and says generator. And it'll also give you an amp draw. 50 amp won't give you an amp draw. Generator will. 30 amp will give you an amp draw, so you can keep up with how much amperage you're using. And that'll come in play like if you're trying to split it. Say you only got 30 and you're trying to figure out what you can run and what you can't run. Air conditioner will run it up 25, 30 amps probably. So it's just something. Like I say, that 30 amps will run the trailer, but only one air conditioner. And it will not run that washer and dryer. Questions?
No questions.
No questions.